Good afternoon, Master Tanaka. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, friend Helena. I am Master Kwan Yin, and as always, I am full of joy. Always remember that you are often generating interpretations of yourself in the form of vibrations. So, naturally, when you come to recognize yourself as joy, then within you there will be a process that you can place as one of transformation, because your whole self-interpretive process changes. All those forms that you were often generating within a weight, within a form of comparison, will all dissipate, because through joy, that which you are interpreting of yourself, when you are talking about vibrational processes, you will realize that this vibration is recognized as being higher. But always remember all these words. When you are generating for yourself, always remember everything is within you, because when you have the word God, naturally God is also a truth that is present in all beings. So, what is constantly said? God, which you are even interpreting as being the one who is within you. Naturally, this is a way where you are generating a process of self-acceptance. So, God is always the truth that is present in all beings, and this God, who on an earthly plane, you may also know as life, is here accessible for all of you to conduct within yourself your process of experiences. What is always being said? When you generate all these forms of consciousness within yourself, what will you realize? What you are developing for yourself is a process of choices, and naturally, these choices, being carried out deliberately, shape in themselves a whole way of being. What is always said? The ground plane is accessible to all. When you are on an earthly plane, many are interpreting that what is present is only matter, but what must always be remembered is that matter is densified energy. So, this means that this matter is always in an energy form, but when you use a process called the five senses, then you will use it to observe this densified form. When you are here, you will realize that there are several densified forms which processes of thought and feeling have generated. You can say, Master, but when this form is already densified, then does that mean it can no longer be modified? Always remember that all beings on the earth plane are energetic beings. When you understand your energy, you gain insight into the experiences it generates. This is where you will realize what you are constantly shaping in yourself is your thought and feeling process. This thought and feeling generate an interpretative process in you. Therefore, your experience with this matter can be constantly reshaped. With this understanding, you will realize that through these reinterpretations, you can transform this matter into your inner world. Naturally, this remodeling changes your whole experience. Many interpret experience as determined by the outside world. I say that this is not an adequate interpretation. Always remember that what is shaping you is your interpretation, and this interpretation occurs in your inner world. So, what's constantly being put in? When you generate joy within yourself by holding on to it, that is a choice. You are even determining a way of being. Naturally, when you determine that way of being, everything that is being created in your inner world is shaped by that way of being. Then you will realize that this mold, which you may be calling joy, will cause various interpretive processes to be reoriented. Naturally, through this reorientation, everyone begins to recognize a process of self-transformation within themselves. When you are even seeking this self-transformation, then what must always be understood? What generates this change is precisely when you are guiding this way of being. Always remember that beliefs shape everything in you, and you are creating those beliefs. When you interpret that the outside world is ordering a process of beliefs, then you must generate a process of self-reflection to know your own beliefs. Naturally, when you create this self-knowledge, that is where you will realize the direction that you are determining on the earth plane. Always remember that beliefs are only generated by interpretive factors. When you are within yourself, determining your process of self-transformation, what you constantly generate within individual experiences naturally shapes your way of being, which is precisely your belief. With these words, I say goodbye. Thank you very much.